Oh yeah, this is going to be a DVD and Blu-ray update. It's mainly DVDs, mixed kind of bag of kind of horror and Hong Kong and other kind of stuff besides. I've got 4 Blu-rays. I'm going to get one Blu-ray out of the way. In fact, no, I've got 4 Blu-rays and a box set. I get this Blu-ray out of the way now. I'm probably going to go into the grain of a lot of people, because a lot of people seem to like this film, and it's kind of I didn't have kind of much expectations of it. Anyway, it's Dredd 3D, and I can't begin to tell you like how much. I mean, it wasn't just like this. Like I really hated the film. I didn't really have a problem with Carl Urban as Judge Dredd. I think he was okay. I mean, he's not exactly amazing. The problem is he's not really in it that much for me. I didn't particularly like the sort of other kind of storyline of that girl having, like, you know, she's like kind of a psychic and that. When I first heard like there was going to have the female villain in it with Mama played by I can't think of her name at the moment. Lena Headley, is that her name? I can't really think. But anyway, she's hardly really in it. The main problem I have is I'm not really against CGI blood when it's done properly. Like, you know, in the last Rambo film, it was really done well, but the CGI blood in this is fucking terrible. There's no kind of villain to speak of. That slow motion thing they've got going on in this, I really didn't like it at all. You see, because I kind of grew up kind of like reading a lot of Dredd. I read a lot of Dredd, and I read a lot of martial law as well. That was kind of similar to Dredd, like the same kind of artist kind of doing it. And the thing that kind of I find like synonymous with Dredd as like a villain, I'd say would be like Judge Death. That would be the villain I thought would be in it. But they've obviously gone for a more kind of like Batman. They've kind of gone away. You know, the modern Batman films have. They've gone away from the sort of the more kind of naturalised villains, you know, like modernised villains, which they could, you know, use properly in film. I can understand that, but I really didn't like it at all. I thought it was a piss poor effort, really piss poor. I just didn't give a fuck about it. I mean, I'm really against the grain there, because apparently loads of people think it's great, and, you know, I mean, don't shoot me down for that, but it's what I think. I got a lot of Hong Kong films in this order. This one has got Norman Chu in it. This is We're Going to Eat You. Norman Chu gets stranded on an island full of cannibals. This order came in. A lot of this came from DVD. Order from DVD House. They really are really good. If you want to, they take a while. They take about a week getting them, and then they get them out to you, like, and you'll get them within 5 or 6 days. They really are great. I want to. That's high on the watch list. This is a Bloody Brotherhood. I'm just expanding on a lot of my Hong Kong films. I want to go back and do kind of like a decent kind of Shaw Brothers order, but this was mainly kind of a mixed bag of kind of stuff. No, which one was this? Now this is The Last Blood. I have had a chance to watch this. This is very, very good. About Japanese terrorists running amok in Singapore, trying to kill like a Buddhist leader. It's really madly entertaining. This is well worth seeing. This is a really good one. It's fucking crazy. Right, which one is this? No, I'm watching this at the moment. This is Blue Jean Monster. Now I can't think of the actor's name. This is Sawai Kit, I think. Yeah, that's. He normally he plays the villain in a lot of things. He's been in Better Tomorrow. I think he was in the first Better Tomorrow and Better Tomorrow 2. He was in The Killer. He's a cop and he gets horrifically killed, and he comes back and there's a sort of a zombie sort of vampire type kind of hybrid, and he goes after the villains who've killed him. I mean, I've only seen half of it so far, but it's very funny, very daft. Final Justice. I think this is an early 90s kind of action fair. I mean, they're mostly all action. I think save one or two I kind of picked up. This one isn't really action. The reading the back of this is True Colours with T. Lung. This kind of has the sort of Angels with Dirty Faces kind of thing at the end. You see, the problem is with a lot of these Hong Kong releases, particularly like the Legendary Collection, they kind of tell you everything on the back in the synopsis, which is a bit of a shame, but it has kind of that ending. But I hear like T Long kind of wields kind of 2 shotguns throughout, so that'll be kind of like, that'll please me. This is Fury. I'm trying to think which, again, it's more kind of like backstabbery kind of, a lot of these kind of, I think that's the guy out of Beast Cops, I think. Yeah, but this I hear a lot of these are very entertaining. I kind of like checked these out kind of before. Now this film, this is Fatal Vacation. This is an unbelievably brilliant film. Tourists from Hong Kong get captured by Filipino terrorists, taken out into the wilderness, and are just horrifically treated. The ending is something to behold. There was one bit in this that I swear I was crying with laughter at. It involves that bloke. You'll know it when you see it. It's so funny. I can't. It's one of the funniest deaths I've ever seen in the film. Sorry to spoil it slightly, but it's so brilliant. This is Powerful 4. You got Simon Yam. I can't think of that guy's name. I've got him in a lot of stuff. He was in oh god, what is that film? Is it Cut and Run, where his mother and daughter get horrendously killed by Simon Yam? And there's the guy who betrays him in Bullet in the Head. I can't think of the actor's name. But yeah, this is also very, very good. It's very entertaining. Another one I haven't had a chance to see yet. This is Hero Tomorrow. Here, this is violent. So this order, I got like a big order come through yesterday. I haven't had a chance to see it. This one I have had a chance to see. I picked this up from Amazon. This is a Hero Shed No Tears, early John Woo film. Kind of got low on Amazon. Got like 2 out of 5, which I'm quite surprised at, because like the violence is like fantastic. It's really good one. It's just fucking like madcap, and I mean, as you'd expect from a Woo kind of stuff. But it just shows that, I think post Hard Target, because I mean, I prefer Woo stuff anyway. In his Hong Kong stuff, that he didn't really do stuff afterwards that much cop. I'm not a real massive fan of kind of Face Off, and I hate it when I hear people say Face Off is his best film. It really isn't. If you've seen his earlier stuff, you'll know what I'm saying. This is a horror film. I heard this is a British horror film. This is When the Lights Went Out. It's set during 1974, during the 3-day working week, like power cuts and stuff. It's is it the Black Monk of Pontefract? I think when I first heard about this, when it said about the most terrifying poltergeist, I was thinking about the Enfield one, which was obviously made up bullshit. But this is alright. It's got Steve Warrington in it. It's okay. I mean, to be fair, there's 1 or 2 creepy moments. There's one moment that was pretty creepy. It's just, it gets a bit kind of daft, the way they kind of rope the priest into it. And the ending's a bit, they kind of go for some effects that weren't really needed. Sometimes practical effects are a lot more eerier. But it was okay. Honestly, I've seen a hell of a lot worse. And I really have seen worse. This is The Incubus. They released this... I can't think who released the first release of it. It was long out of print before they released this one. Scorpion. John Cassavetes he really calls this performance in. There's something about Cassavetes in this, man. Each time you see him, his hair's kind of like higher up, and he's kind of got like sort of like malicious grin on his face throughout, which he really shouldn't have. Like, just when he's describing after this woman's been raped and killed, he's kind of got just like a grin on his face like throughout. I can't describe it. It makes me laugh. But to be fair, there's some good violence in this. Amazing foot being blown off by shotgun, then man being thrown out of the top of a bar, and that was very entertaining. It's to be fair, the problem is it's kind of boring in places, but it wasn't too bad. It was pretty entertaining. It wasn't one of the worst things I've seen. Right, I picked up talk about terrible. I mean, this is as bad as Denzel Washington in for Queen and Country, plays a ex-British squaddy. He fought in Northern Ireland and the Falklands, and comes back to his estate, and he has, without doubt, the worst attempt at a Cockney accent you're ever going to hear. There's Craig Fairbrass down there, but I can't begin to tell you how bad it is. The film is atrocious. It really is. I can't begin to tell. I don't even know what it's trying to say throughout the film. I don't know what its kind of message is. I mean, Bruce Payne turns up in it and then he kind of leaves again. He's hardly really in it. It's terrible. It's honestly, it's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some pretty shit ones. Now this film, Dark Sky Films released this. I had to get this when I saw the trailer. I thought this really looks up my street. This is George Kennedy in The Human Factor. George Kennedy's family. He's what is he in this? He's a NATO computer specialist in Italy, and his family just wiped out. And he goes after them, the terrorists. I swear to God, there's a scene in this when really good soundtrack as well. There's a really good tune that constantly plays when sort of George Kennedy's on a mission, and you'll know. I tried to get it on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, it is Ennio Morricone. But there's a scene in this where George Kennedy gets hit with a shovel on the back of his neck. Oh God, I was nearly dying laughing. The ending is quite spectacular. To be honest, it's pretty slow in places, but the ending brings it all together. The ending's fantastic. It's really funny. George Kennedy makes me laugh, man. I can't help it. Now I wanted to pick up these two films for a while. Because I saw Django recently and I absolutely loved it. I mean, talk about practical effects with the squibs and that at the end. I really loved that film. I thought Tarantino did a great job. I thought DiCaprio, how he didn't get a Best Supporting Actor nominee, I'll never know. But I wanted to pick up these two films and obviously influenced Tarantino with it. The first one is Mandingo. This I tell you, this is a really, really good film. James Mason. I love James Mason as an actor. I think he's a great actor, but he's never been a guy to do accents. In general, he in a lot of films I've seen him in, he's got such a distinctive voice, there's no need for him to do it, and his southern accent in this is, oh God, it's terrible. Some of the things in this, I mean, are just, I mean, no doubt, I mean, the way people were, and the way slaves were treated at the time would have been just unbelievably despicable, but James Mason, how he wants to cure his rheumatism. I'll just leave it at that if you haven't seen it. But the ending is pretty shocking. I mean, there are some harrowing moments in it. That's very good. I mean, Ken Norton can't really act for shit, but I thought on the whole he's pretty good in it. And then I picked up Drum. Now, Drum is I think not for laughter purposes. You're not supposed to laugh, but just the whole ridiculousness, how the film is actually done. You can't help but laugh. Who is the? Oh, I'm trying to think of the actor. He hasn't got his name on the back. The guy who plays a sort of mad the French guy in New Orleans who attempts to rape Drum. I can't think of his name, but his performance in it is just absurd. Warren Oates as Hammond Maxwell, some of his lines, I swear, had me. I won't say some of the lines. I mean, some people might find them offensive. I find them pretty funny, but it's the way he delivers them is funny. Yaphet Kotto is very good in this. I like Yaphet Kotto in most of everything. Ken Norton is, his acting is pretty weak, but he tries his best. But it's worth it for Warren Oates. He's absurdly daft in it. But they're very good films. I mean, Mandingo is a lot more serious than Drum. Now, I also picked up, now not for Battle Beneath the Earth, not really interested in that, but The Ultimate Warrior, fantastic film. Yul Brynner, kind of post-apocalyptic world, gets taken in by a sanctuary, Max von Sydow. Meanwhile, the other sanctuary is ran by a group of nutcases. William Smith as character. I absolutely love William Smith. I really, really do. He's one of my real kind of cult icons. I love him. some really great violence in this. Great use of dummies. I always appreciate the use of a good dummy being thrown off a roof, and this film really goes out of its way to do it. Fight at the end is fantastic. A scene where, oh god, Max von Sydow being attacked by a mob. You've really got everything in this. I really enjoyed that film. Honestly, it's a fantastic film. It's you'll really like that. I like Yul Brynner as well. It's really good. I also picked up the last thing, kind of the order from DVD House. This is Bandits versus Samurai Squadron. This is actually a really nice release. Actually, it's kind of a little kind of like digipack. It's over 2 discs, the films. I think I hear Criterion might want to release the earlier films of Gosho Hideo. I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I hear this is really good. I hear like the ending is just mental. Yeah, I'm happy to get that. Now the last couple are Blu-rays. The first off is a Steelbook, which a film I haven't really watched yet, is Lawless. I think I like the original kind of cover. You see, they've kind of, it's almost like they've stuck kind of the female character in. But I kind of would have preferred like maybe Oldman there, or Guy Pearce would have been better, or maybe the other brother. But yeah, I mean, I hear it's all right. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's like amazing or anything, but right. I also picked up, this is a fantastic film. I can't stress to you how good this film is. Honestly, I could not recommend this film enough. This is Olive, and they've done a fantastic job on the transfer. This is Twilight's Last Gleaming. Now, I can imagine at the time this film just went down like the fucking Hindenburg, considering the suggestion. I mean, I imagine the last thing the Americans wanted to be reminded of was Vietnam at the time, and particularly the man in the way this film really hits home with some honest truths about it. Burt Lancaster is absolutely fantastic. The acting on the whole is brilliant. Charles Durning as the president in this is brilliant. Richard Widmark as well is brilliant. This honestly, I don't want to tell you too much about the film, but watch this film. Unbelievable film, honestly. And this is the second but last film. Really happy I got this. Love the reverse cover art on this. Is fantastic. Duellists. This is one of my favourite Ridley Scott films about 2 cavalry officers, Gabriel Farrow and Armand Dubert. I always remember those 2 names. Harvey Keitel and Keith Carradine have a 20-year kind of dueling feud, lasting most in the Napoleonic Wars. This film is such a beautiful film. I don't normally kind of go on about a film like being beautiful, but this really, I can't begin to tell you how brilliant this film is. So happy this film is out on Blu-ray. I love this film. Really do. It's one of my favourites. I'm not kind of standing against the grain saying, oh, it's one of the best Ridley Scott films just to be different. This, in my opinion, is Ridley Scott's best film. It's a fantastic film, honestly, and it's carried on with the extras as well from the DVD. It's got Kevin Reynolds talking about how much he loves the film. Yeah, I think it's got an isolated score. It has got an isolated score, and the score is nice on this one. Got great cast as well. Yeah, and the last thing I picked up, I'll show this briefly because everyone's kind of shown it, but I picked it up for a good price on kind of Amazon. It's the Hitchcock box set. It's a beautiful release. I got it for around about 65-70 quid, which is good considering, you know. I think I got it around for about 70. It's a fantastic release. I watched first time ever. I'd never seen Rear Window before. I know, as amazing as that sounds. Watched it the other night. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic film. I need to watch it. Out of all the kind of directors, I'm not really that familiar with a lot of Hitchcock's work. I know, shoot me, but you know, I want to get kind of like, I want to see a lot of his stuff, and I thought that box set, you know, was too good a price to kind of turn down. So yeah, that is the end of the update. If you want to ask any questions, and I'll probably answer them over the next few days. I am still kind of busy. I am sorry I don't get back to comments and stuff. It is kind of busier now for me. But yeah, thanks for watching and commenting and stuff. And I'll be back with another update probably in maybe April sometime. So yeah, cheers for watching.